What's up everybody? My name's Garrett, double G Gurthie. This is my 2021 in the bag. Starting with first, I use KC ABRs for my putters. Good for anywhere 40 feet and in the basket. If I'm not using my KC ABRs, 175 grams, you'll probably see me using my Sonic. Next is my old Tour Series Star Sonic. Star Sonic is very versatile. I use it for sidearms, backhands, turnovers, around bends up to about 200 feet, 300 if there's no wind. And I like to use this for straight shots, getting it close to the basket, and usually dumping it in for my either par or my birdie. Next here, I got my approach disc, starting with my AVR X3 Luster Edition, 175. I like the puddleness to the disc. It kind of drops out whenever there's wind. So I like to use the Luster AVR X3 in the wind a lot rather than my Sonic because it gets to the earth a little bit quicker than the Sonic. Next in the bag is the new addition, straight from Ricky Wysocki himself. I got my Ricky Pig. I've been using it for a lot more sidearms on the course, and also another disc that helps get to the ground really quick. It's got really nice gumminess to it, so and firm at the same time, so when it hits the ground, it really has some nice ground drag to it, where it's really using the e-brake most of the time, and I think Ricky can vouch for me on that one too. That's why it's the new addition to the bag. Thank you, Ricky. Man, I guess I could say I'm getting a little bit older, and not old, but a little bit older to the game, and these kids are just growing up fast and putting out hot scores, and it's really good to see the growth of disc golf growing, and not only growing, but people getting really good, really fast, and coming out and playing at the highest level. I really admire these kids for coming out, grinding, learning on YouTube, and wherever they might be learning from their course local pro. You know, the sport's just going in the right direction, and I'm really happy it's going that way. I got my mid-range Color Glow Rock 3s from 2016. These are both my workhorses. These rocks go dead straight. They curve a lot of lines for me. I can throw them with hyzer. They'll hold a slow hyzer for me, start to flip up straight. And like I said, probably the workhorse of the year or the years with Innova for me, and very excited to throw the Color Glow Rock 3s. They're very underestimated. If you don't have one, go grab you two for the bag. I got my Tour Series Wombat 3. Thank you, Jeff Panis, for this one, for letting me borrow it this weekend. Lost mine last weekend. But the Wombat 3 is the stay in your lane disc. A lot of people like to throw some overstable mid-ranges. I'm more of the person that likes to throw a disc that I can manipulate a little bit easier than others. The Wombat 3 is for any shot that goes straight to the right, any slower upshot, through the trees, through tunnel shots. Grab yourself a Wombat 3. I carry two of them. One goes a little bit more left, and I have one a little bit more beat in. So that's the reason why I got two Wombat 3s in the bag. I need to get a little more practice in. To be honest, all these kids have the stamina to come out and practice. I gotta lug a trailer right now, so that takes a little bit away, and it takes a little bit longer to get practice rounds in, but I'm gonna do my best to work harder on that and get to point A to point B as quick as possible so I can get those practice rounds in. Up next, I have my fairway drivers. I'm gonna start with my Color Glow T-Bird, also from 2016. I really like that batch of discs, so whenever I seen them, I just kept grabbing them, and really good plastic, just like any of our discs. So the Color Glow 2016 T-Bird is what I use often on fairway shots and up to about 400 feet. Pretty confident with that one. Next up, I got my Greg Barsby ROADRUNNER 175. I use this for a lot of rollers. It doesn't really come out much unless I need a nice tight roller, a quick roller, or even in a tailwind, if I need a long roller where a wraith's too much, I'm using the ROADRUNNER. Thanks, Greg. Next up, my overstable fairway driver that gets me some distance is my Jeremy Coling Thunderbird. This also came right from Jeremy. Thank you, buddy. This is a new addition to the bag, but it's also doing some work for me. I'm still getting the hang of it, and it's very predictable. I put a slight anhyzer on it, and it starts to fade out nice and slow with the hook up to the left. I got a Metal Flake FIREBIRd for all my sidearms and trick shots. This one is very zippy. It's nice and flat. I like the metal flake because I feel like they're a little bit more beefy than the other ones. And I also like to use a little bit lighter on my metal flake Firebirds. This is a 170 here. Was a gift from my buddy Mike, so thank you for that. It's been a workhorse in the bag, and definitely love using this one for my sidearms. All right, next up is my XCAL. These are my fast speed drivers. This is the more overstable of the bunch, first run from Casey All's house, thank you. Made the bag this year. It's a very, very nice disc. I use this for a lot of up and over shots, and if I need any skip shots to kind of hook up quicker, I choose the XCAL. A lot of my discs kind of have a lot more speed on them, so when it hits the ground, the disc keeps going, the XCAL checks up. Next up, I got my Swirly Star Emperor 170 with my double G Craft Jerky. This is one of my long distance throwers in the bag for all those long shots out there. Throwing this one. If I'm not throwing that one, I got a couple Halo Destroyers in the bag. Well, both of them are Calvin Destroyers, but they're both dyed. Thank you Sublime Disc Dyes for that. The Calvin black one in my bag is a little bit more overstable than the green one. So I like to use this black one for long bombs that are in the trees where I'm not afraid to hit a tree. The Halo plastic's very durable. Not that we're trying to hit trees, but that's another good reason why I use my Halo disc in the woods. Yeah, this Halo Destroyer got the autism print on the back. Go support your local crews out there. This is one of my long bombers in the bag. Always got to keep you a nice big destroyer in the bag. I mean, the love and support is just, you know, unreal. The amount of people that message me and on and off the course and tell me how I handled myself after a bad round. That really helps getting all that, you know, the comments from the people to see if I'm doing something right or wrong, you know. To grow the sport, like I said, you gotta be a positive influence, and you can't really grow the sport being a negative Nancy out there. And I got kids on the bag caddying for me for the week, so like I said, you gotta grow the sport, you gotta teach them the right way, and hopefully we can inspire others to keep that positive mindset. And last but not least, my Tour Series Halo Wraith, double G edition right here. Another dye by Sublime Disc Dyes, thanks again. Control, long distance drivers for me. The Halo Wraith flies compared to a normal Star Wraith. It has a little bit more beefiness, a little left hook at the end, whereas a regular Wraith kind of flies for me dead straight with a little bit of peel. Any shot that requires some control, like I said, with some distance, double G's breaking out the Halo Wraiths. Fits very nice in double G's hand, as you see. I use it for about everything. I got a little say and a lot of say in the design, and they did a great work at Innova. I'm super happy with the artwork. It came out really sharp. The image is great. I want to thank you again for picking up one of these. If not 1, 10, 20, however many you picked up. Thank you so much. Keeping the dream alive for double G on the road. One thing I didn't go over, what was in my bag, as in not disc golf related. You always got to keep some double G Craft Jerky. I had the original today because all the other flavors been going like hotcakes. Remember, don't forget that we support the Double G Children's Foundation. We're working on all kinds of cool snacks with double G Craft Jerky. We'll have more to come soon. We're helping out the kids in disc golf that can't afford it yet. So we're trying to get kids memberships and move in the right direction to grow the sport forward. Also, another thing that's in my bag is a Brock Woodall birdie bag. Thanks for the support, Brock, and bringing us some dry hands on the road. I want to thank Innova Champion Discs for making the greatest discs of all time, in my opinion. They've been so great to me. They're like family. Anything we ever need, they're there to help. I appreciate you guys 100% from the bottom of my heart.